Hello Virgo, this is your monthly reading for August 2018. So this month we have our last solar eclipse of the summer. So we've had two already. In July there was the solar eclipse at the beginning of the month, and then the lunar eclipse that just passed that was in Aquarius. We're going to have a solar eclipse again on August 11th in Leo. So that's pretty significant considering usually there's only 2 eclipses in eclipse season, and this is actually 3. We have Mercury continuing to retrograde up until the 18th. Mars will retrograde right up until the 26th of August, 27th of August, and that will Mars will go direct on the same day of the full moon in Pisces. So we have a lot of stuff happening. So let's see how that affects you, Virgo, for the month of August. So, how does the astrological transit affect Virgo for the month of August? What's happening for Virgos for the month of August? Alright guys, so at the beginning of the month, I'm sensing that you are doing your hardest to try to remove yourself from a lot of dramatic people. You have some major decisions that you're weighing on, thinking about. The guides are saying you do need to detox. Maybe you've been worrying too much. Maybe you're using coping mechanisms that are not really healthy. Some kind of a detox is in order for you, Virgos. I just see like lots of activity around you, and this sense of there's got to be something better than this. What is coming? Like almost like you're anticipating something to happen, but nothing's happening at the same time. So let's see how that solar eclipse shakes things up for Virgos. What's going on with Virgos in the solar eclipse on August 11th and the new moon in Leo. Solar eclipse in Leo, how that affects Virgo. I do see this solar eclipse affecting you in a positive way. I feel like you sort of get it sorted out in your mind that you do have to take better care of yourself. And in terms of nurturing yourself and perhaps even eating a bit more luxurious than you normally do. So maybe I do see the guys are showing me cakes and cupcakes and things like that. So you might be indulging in a little bit too many sweets. But at the same time, it is a more positive method of coping than what you had been doing, which I feel like a lot of you have been just drinking like way too much coffee or frappes or something like that to keep your energies up. I do feel like you're a little bit more or less, or sorry, you're more emotional than you usually are around leading up to that solar eclipse. And then that solar eclipse just brings complete clarity for you. And this sense of, everything's going to be fine. What have I been freaking out about? You've just been super anxious and, like I said, coping with it in not so constructive ways or positive ways. I do feel like you start to realize, okay, I got to get my ducks in a row. Maybe some of you start making lists or compiling, strategic plans, things like that, with this energy of the solar eclipse. Now, just keep in mind, it's really not a good time to take action during this Mars retrograde. I would wait until September to do really anything, because most of the month Mars is still retrograding. And then you just want to give things some time. Just reflect, review, think about things. And with Mercury retrograding right up until the 18th, there's really no point in taking any major action. But I do sense that you're getting yourself in order, and that you are using the energy of internalization that retrogrades bring, like that feeling like you have to think things through and not act. I feel like you're using that in a positive way. So let's just see how the end of the month pans out for Virgos for the month of August. Virgos for the month of August. Lots of emotions come up for you guys. Wow, I have like 4 water cards and then the moon card comes up. Lots of emotions come up, some illusions get smashed, some things get brought to the surface with that Pisces full moon. Remember, Pisces is in your opposite sign. So, you know, I feel like leading up to that full moon, you know, you were following your heart. The solar eclipse energy has given you energy. But then leading up to the full moon, you know, you kind of get a little bit flooded with emotions, and again, some regrets and things like that come up. There's definitely illusions, maybe even some secrets coming to the surface for you guys. There could be insights into your own illusions or into people around you's illusions. So I'm just going to make sure there's nothing I left out for Virgos for the month of August. So you will probably feel from this full moon a bit stuck, but then more so in September, and we'll talk about this next month, there will be some positive career changes that are coming for you. So just keep that in mind around that full moon. Just you'll start to feel like, oh, you know, like everything's kind of pointless in terms of career mostly. Some of you might experience some relationship hang-ups or bang-ups, but just remember that in September, around the 19th of September, and we'll talk more about this next month, your career will be in a much better place, and you'll start to see that at that time. So I'm just going to pull a oracle card. The guides are saying that you do need to get more rest around that full moon if you can, and I know that that's difficult because sometimes full moons don't allow us to rest, but they are saying if you go into the full moon rested, you'll be better for it. The full moon won't rock you as much as it does when you're kind of exhausted going into it. This full moon won't be as severe in terms of energy as the one that was happening in July in Aquarius. This full moon, you know, will be on the same day that Mars goes direct, and there'll be just a sense of relief that takes over. But for some of us, and for you especially, Virgo, it's just going to bring up again that anxiety that was there at the beginning of the month. So any leftover stuff coming up, or leftover stuff from then, will kind of resurface during the full moon. So I'm just going to check if there's anything I left out for Virgos for the month of July. So this card is beautiful. It's a card about a healing heart. It's talking about that you are a powerful healer. And I know that over the course of the last few months, you've been getting some really massive downloads, Virgo, and you know, body downloads. I talked about that a few videos ago, where it was just like all these tingles and all these downloads. You're gonna start to know what to do with those downloads that you received, the feelings you were getting, all these weird bodily feelings that you've been getting are going to kind of make more sense in the next few months. Everything's going to integrate at that time, or is, yeah, integrating now, and it will make more sense during the next few months. So I hope that that helps you. I also pulled this card. It's a family harmony card. So I do feel like, you know, the people in your life, your family especially, will be a very strong pillar for you during any difficulties that might arise during the full moon, or that has come up since the lunar eclipse. So remember, the window for eclipses are the next 6 months, so just keep that in mind. I will talk to you again next month for the month of September. And remember, this is a very general reading. If you need a more personal reading, you can book me through this page, or sorry, the links below, and I will set something up with you either through Skype, in person, or over the phone. I hope that you would share this with your friends if you find it helpful, and I will see you again here next month. Take care.